All right, Mark Crissinger and the Blue Buds there with a tune called Baja Blanket, and we're lucky enough to have Mark in the studio today. Good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon. Man, we got some sunshine, eh?
Yes. Did you bring it with you?
It was. We did it all ourselves. We packed it up in a box, and just as we got to Long Beach, we went poof, and there it was.
Let it out.
Yeah.
It's Pandora's box. The
Yeah,
last
man.
ray comes out. Well, we're talking about you coming out here to this side of the island. You're currently living on the other side of the island.
Yeah, we're in Cowichan Valley, sort of just south of Duncan, I guess, around Cobble Hill area. And we've only been there since August, so we're just newbies.
And so where was home before that?
Gibson's, the Sunshine Coast.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've done pretty well. You've been living a pretty good life.
Not too bad.
Too bad.
We're enjoying it.
So, what brings you now out here? You flew it last night in Tofino, coming out here to play. Why'd you think, hey, it's early November, let's go rock out on the West Coast?
Yeah. I just finished playing 30 dates in the east of the country, like from Halifax and Charlottetown and all those towns out there, and Quebec and in Ontario and stuff.
Skip the prairies and then.
Well, I just have something developed out in the east because I did tour and play there for 20 years before moving out here 3 years ago, and I just want to keep those roots going, and I have this new project going on now that's the Blue Buds, which is my band, and then I also do duo work. And here on the island, I'm finding a lot of solo action is happening, like just solo gigs, and times are tough for bars and stuff like that. So they're looking for quality entertainment, but they can't afford to pay whole bands anymore. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on to keep people from going to bars. So, so I'm like, I'm taking advantage of the fact and living in a beautiful part of the world, and I just want to play in small communities and start sharing this music I got.
Well, I think that's a great thing that you talk about, maintaining the relationships with your touring out east and what have you. That's kind of the neat thing about, I think, that solo act and the smaller venues is that you meet people that are always there. You get to actually really get a little more intimate and make those relationships and work on that grassroots sort of thing. I'm
starting to realize now, as I'm sort of getting into my early 40s here, and starting to realize that there's reasons for that I'm a player, And when I was younger, it was about meeting chicks and getting drunk, And
I know
now, and now it's it's really about the whole experience. And I keep meeting all these older guys, players who are saying, you got to carve out your thing. You got to just whatever that is. Whether you're playing 300 dates a year, whether you're playing 100 dates a year, whatever you're doing, it's just you carve out your little niche. And make your music and make your stand, and you're not trying to be Justin Bieber or anything like that, and try to sell a gazillion records. Although it would be nice, but there's a reality.
$300,000 a show would be pretty all right.
Yeah, I'm a 43-year-old man losing my hair. It's not going to happen. But I am going to go to a pub. I'm going to meet some fantastic people. Yeah. We're going to sing along, and every tale tells a tune. And there's a lot of things about life experience. That's what the album's about. Yep. Fear no journey. Don't be afraid. Just go out, try.
Go out and get her done.
Yeah, get her done.
Let's talk a little bit. You said you've been touring, playing for 20 odd years. Can we drop a couple names? Are there people you're going to recognize? I noticed the write-up refers to you being reminiscent of the likes of J.J. Cale and Eric Clapton. That's some bluesy company.
Yeah. I definitely did a lot of time playing blues in the Southern Ontario scene, and I lived in Kensington Market for 15 years, and so we're heavily exposed to the blues scene and rock scene in that area through, from about 87 to about 97, and got to hang out with you get to hang out with a lot of people in that scene because it's a small community as well. It just there just happens to be 4 million people there, but but the community of musicians who hang out and meet up and go play a game of golf or jam at Grossman's Tavern, and get stoned and play blues.
I noticed you refer to Grossman's Tavern as, I think, the Church of or something like that.
Well, yeah, that's where we used to go on Sundays, and it used to be. I've jammed with Burton Cummings there, and Lee Oscar and Jeff Healey countless times. And, God rest his soul, and we're friends hanging out. And I learned from those guys. I learned how to play music from those guys, Mike McDonald and Pat Rush, and guys who had been out there, and Whiskey Howe guys and the Downchild guys. And,
nice. And
so those were the guys who actually took a second to show me something. And so I got to give a shout out to those guys. I mean, they're the guys from the Canadian scene who make it happen, you know. The boys from Blue Rodeo and all those guys,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's cool.
Goes
That's
on forever, the list.
Yeah, it's a rich heritage, absolutely, that we've
Yeah,
got.
and it's out here too. As I come and live here in the West now, I'm realizing, you know, like, or I'm learning more and more about your. And, you know, I had the pleasure of doing the Pender Harbor Blues Festival this spring, and, you know, I'm interviewing people like James Harmon and Willie McCalder, you know, and Jim Burns.
Yeah, Jim Burns actually comes out here quite frequently.
Oh,
yeah.
Jim's you know, I if I could get a show together like Jim, I'd be super happy. And
I've heard a lot of people refer to this as Go-Go Island as well. We got Go-Go kicking around. You could basically probably, if you threw a rock hard enough out into the straight, you could hit Randy Bachman's place too.
Yo, was that right?
Yeah,
Eh?
he's out there somewhere. But let's talk about the show now. You're out here. You're living on the island. You're doing your thing. You're out here to play, I guess, the Way West tonight after the Black Rock. What can we expect out of the entertainment tonight at the Way West?
I'm really trying to get back to some of the roots of what I've been doing lately, which is essentially, you know, some Dylan and some Van Morrison and the band.
Oh, they'll eat that up out here.
Yeah, I love blues, so we'll play some Morgan Davis and we play some Muddy Waters. And then I've got music from this latest CD that's more like folk rock type of stuff. And then we just did another album called Raw Umber, which is going to be coming out, I guess, in the spring. And I'll play some stuff off of that. And then I was in a band called the Caution Jam for 15 years, which was essentially a psychedelic rock and roll, Grateful Dead, Allman Brother type of band, jam band.
Yeah.
And we were based out of Toronto and played together for a long time. So I have 2 albums with those guys, and I like to play those songs as well.
Sweet. Well, you got an interesting guitar here. Would you like to whip out a tune or two for us here in the studio? Are you ready to roll?
Sure.
Do I need to buy you some time?
No, I can. We
right.
can put it all together. Get the Mississippi saxophone out here.
So, first of all, the guitar, before you do go, the guitar is a pretty interesting Canadian-made instrument.
Yeah, Godin, and it's an acoustic and electric guitar at the same time. So in the show, I play harmonica, I sing and play this guitar, and I'm actually able to sort of lay down, playing some, like, you know, the root of the song or the main chords in the song. I'll play that, and then I'll loop that and solo over that.
Flick a switch
well.
and
flick a
electric
switch
guitar on the other side.
Exactly, yeah.
Very cool.
It makes the show just a little bit more. People are like, hey, where'd that come from?
Nice. I like that. I'm excited to hear it. What are you going to play for us?
This song's called This Perfect Night, which, again, is about traveling and having a real good time with the folks that you meet along the way. Sometimes you fall in love, and sometimes that doesn't always work out.
All right.
I'm gonna hitch a ride out to California to see some old friends of mine. We used to sing those songs all day and night and stay up until the morning light. Let me tell you, brother, one thing is true, not everything is true. Yeah, it can't always be good, it can't always be right, it can't always be love on this perfect night. It can't always be sun, it can't always be shine, and it can't always be love on this perfect night. I'm gonna hitch a ride out to Nova Scotia to see some old friends of mine. We used to sing those songs all day and night and sing until the morning light. Let me tell you, brother, one thing is true, not everything is true. Yeah, it can't always be good, it can't always be right, it can't always be love on this perfect night. It can't always be sun, and it can't always be shine, and it can't always be love on this perfect night. I'm gonna hitch a ride out to Roberts Creek to see some old friends of mine. We used to dance in that hall all day and night, and dance until the morning light. Let me tell you, brother, one thing is true, not everything is true. Yeah, it can't always be good, it can't always be right, it can't always be love on this perfect night. It can't always be sun, it can't always be shine, it can't always be love on this perfect night. No, I can't always be yours, you can't always be mine, and it can't always be love on this perfect night. Yeah, I can't always be yours, you can't always be mine, and it can't always be love on this perfect night. On this perfect night, on this night, on this night.
That was awesome. What
are you laughing
No,
about?
this is such a terrible place to work, because as you're doing that, and as the song's wrapping up, and as I know I should push buttons, I'm just sitting out there going, "That's a sea lion in the harbor." Did you see him? Did you see him pop up? I saw you looking out the window.
I was just staring at the mountains in the background, man,
It's
'cause
impossible
so
to pay attention around here.